Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to tonight's live stream, episode 4 of track making in MX Simulator, and we'll go ahead and go right back in, --editor. Need to take caps off in my target line, and we'll go ahead and load back into game and see where we were. Quick check in chat, please, anybody that is available. Audio and video coming up just fine. If you guys can let us know, that would be fantabulous. If not, then whatever. So let's go ahead and go back to our tutorial track and see where we last left off. I believe we just finished the displacement. So the first thing that I want to accomplish tonight, audio is good, video is good. Thank you Raiders 2000 and JRock B 2121. Oh shit. All right. Yeah, so we had just left off with the displacement, and so the first order of business that I want to accomplish tonight is now adding a sand texture to the two places where we're going to have sand, where we're going to put sand in this long sweeper right here, and also in this little section right here. Before you head back under the bridge, we're going to have sand in there as well. So instead of sitting in game and waiting for me to figure out what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my personal folder and add a sand texture just for good measure. Here's my personal folder. I just downloaded a track today that I like the sand file on, called Sand Facility. And I want to get tile info, I believe. So let's go ahead and edit with Notepad++. Sorry for those of you that are having ads. I don't like ads either. But, Twitch. Nope. Alright, so. Sand cheat. Sand. So I think this is the one that he had. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, so we'll go ahead and exit back out of that. And tutorial track, tile info, edit with Notepad++. Go down here. Make this my last file. So we'll paste that guy. Now have a sand file in there. And see we have this stuff that says like at sand facility, blah, 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 blah. Instead of making this so that we have to have the sand facility, I'm just going to rename this, where am I going? Search, replace, and replace all with tutorial track, okay. Sand.ppm, tiles, blah, roost files. Yeah, so, alright, let's save that. And we'll go back to sand facility. And we'll literally just steal roost files, copy that, go in here and hit paste a Rooney, and then go back to sand facility and take the tiles file. Oops, don't want to copy back this guy, paste. Now, roost files, we got this sand here. I want all those sand bits, but tiles, we can get rid of that and then hit control and these two guys as well. We'll hit delete. Yes. Back. Yeah. So now we've got this in our folder correctly. And go back into game. Gotta remember what I'm doing here. And to make this process even more challenging for me tonight, I'm going to take shots. I don't know what I'm going to take shots for just yet, but I do know that I will start off with one now. Don't want to go too crazy. Yep, that looks good. Can't have any dualies or pike saves on this stream tonight, so I gotta figure out a creative way that gets me to take more shots. And why is Sim not loading? Alright. Cheers, guys. Oh, man, that first one hits you hard. Whew. Yes, Moto Go Go, I will have your babies. But why are you not streaming right now, man? I thought that your stream starts at 7. I don't know what's to your thunder. Face cam, nah, come on, my face looks ugly. Although I should say that tonight is the first night that I do not have a mustache anymore. I went all of Movember with a pretty sweet mustache. Actually, wasn't pretty sweet. It looks like shit, but went all of Movember with that. What do I want to do here? Tile map edit. So we should have a sand file. Yeah, that looks like it right there. Doesn't tell me the name of the tile, but you know, YOLO. We're going to move these decals that are where I want to be out of the way. Just for now, we'll move them back. But we want to be able to see that we're actually changing the texture on the ground. Or not the texture, but the texture into sand. Because right now it's this dark dirt that we initially started the track with way, way back in the day. And so I just created a new decal by accident. If you hit X on your keyboard, it just gets rid of it. You can see down here it says pressed 0 times 78 X. So it tells you what key that you just pressed on the left side. So we're going to get these decals out of the way. Think that's about good for how much I wanted that. And we'll come over here. Don't need to move too much out of the way down here. Just maybe that guy, a little bit of that guy, and that guy. So now we have it set up where we can see it. How did you do the drag paste when you created the terrain in part 1? What do you mean by that? I'm sorry, I'm not kind of following what you mean by drag paste. Do you mean where, say for example, I wanted to do like a linear ad, and I hit, I think it was L, and it did one of these things, you mean? Where it gets stretched? Like that? Or, I don't know. Tell me. Message me in chat. Hit me up, bro. Alright, we are going to tile map edit. We are on the sand already, and we don't want to get like too out of shape with the sand here. So we're going to actually lower this radius down. And the sand is right in this general vicinity. So now we got a nice little sand section there. Then we'll come over here and move the tile out of the way. Here I don't mind so much that the sand goes over. So we'll just get kind of wild here. Draw a nice good sand in here. Yeah, there we are. That's a good sand right there. So now you can see the tile map is laid down there. And we'll go back to decals. And I'll just place these right on top here. So we're re-hiding the sand now that I've laid it. Just a happy little sand. This will be up on our YouTube channel tomorrow morning. I rendered this out and uploaded overnight so that you guys can all see it. So yeah, tomorrow morning we will have this right up on the channel and you guys can see that. So now if I go to setup, my graphics setup, and turn my cheeky little roost density all the way up, you can see the difference when I get over there in the dirt that's already laid, which I believe has no roost file on it. I'll probably add a roost file to it later. But so I'm on the dirt that is already laid down, and see if I spin the back wheel, nothing happens. But when I get over to the sand, suddenly there's roost, which tells me that I laid the sand down correctly. I got sand laid down there, and it feels differently. If I go over here and go over this wall, so I got pretty good amount of traction, come down, hit this wall jump, and then into the sand. And it definitely feels like it's holding you back a little bit. So we got this big quad up over the hill, and then you come slinging down into here, and then, so now you can see I'm on the sand. And it definitely feels quite a bit different. And then off the sand over the finish line table, which is quite small. So Twitch alerts. No, I don't think I have Twitch alerts turned on. Check. Sorry. My B, bro. My B. The first thing I want to do, well, I'm going to do decals tonight. I'm going to lay decals all around the track so I can get it kind of set up the way I want it to. But the first thing I want to do is this kind of section right here is bothering me, how off camber it is. I kind of like it off camber, but not as much as it is. So I'm going to fix the off camber bit the only way I know how, or not the only way, but you know, just a way that I know how. Alright, so we have got ourselves a cheeky little gradient here. We're going to take the gradient and I'm going to line it up right about where I want the track to be. And then I'm going to dig it down to the other side of the track. So it's digging into the hillside. And then we'll just bring it right back up to the normal level. I want to turn this into a curve actually. Turn both of these into a curve. So just bring it right back up to the level. And instead of doing paint this time, I'm going to do linear add. And so you'll see what happens here is I don't want the focus to be too crazy. I'll up the radius. I just kind of dig this into the hillside here a little bit. And you can see that it just kind of digs it out kind of nicely. I actually want to fix that a little bit because it's a little bit too much into the hillside, but it's kind of flattened it out a little bit more now. See, so you come down off of this table and it's a little bit more flat going into this off camber. Now again, like I said, I'm gonna fix this a little bit more because I think it's overlaid a little bit too much. So I'll go ahead and gradient edit again. I also want it to be a little bit flatter even, so I'm going to lower this a little bit more and then move it back in, move this guy over this way, and then we'll just flatten it out right there. Go back to linear add. And bada bing, bada boom. That, I think, is a little bit better than we were. See, it's a little bit flatter coming down the hill now. This jump is kind of sketchy here, but once you land it, it's a little bit flatter coming through, and then it leads you into this off camber, which again, like I said, I like the off camber sand section idea, but I wanted to kind of just make it a little bit smoother on entry. In fact, I think I even want to maybe fix this guy a little bit up right here. So I'm gonna move this down this way and turn that just a bit. And then let's take the gradient edit and see where our lines are. It's perfect. All right, let's try this. See how that lines up. Oh, made a big divot. Hold on. Let me fix that. Now, that might fix it. Nope, just made a huge hole. It's not working how I wanted it to. Dang it. Maybe if I just do this guy. No, that just makes a huge hole. Let me just smooth it. Let's get right down in here. Just kind of smooth this guy out. So now that inside should kind of smoothen itself into that off camber a little bit. We're gonna have a a little bit of a kink here on the inside, but I kind of don't want it to be that they can ride up against the wall anyway, so I'll probably place bales up against the wall, and then I'll lead them into this off camber, which will have rollers going through it. Alright, so enough of that. I want to start decaling this guy. I'm going to do a quick one more lap just to show you guys, since we got sand in here now. But I want to decal this track before I start laying rough and bumps, just so that I know exactly what it's going to look like decaled then when I lay that stuff. Because sometimes you'll decal the bumps and it'll look perfect, but then, or you'll lay the bumps and it'll look perfect, but then when you go back later and decal it, oh shit, too fast. When you go back later and decal it, I mean, you can't even tell where it is, so kind of sucks. So let me do one quick laparoonie on this track here. I'm all jacked up now after riding that other track, Hostile Hills, tonight, because it's so big that I just expect every jump to be huge, but this track is meant to be more realistic. Hostile Hills has really big jumps on it, which are kind of unrealistic. So basically we have 2 wall jumps on this track. I'm not the biggest fan of wall jumps, but somehow, some way, I was convinced of putting 2 walls on this track. Alright, so we come to the back section up here, and we got a nice little uphill triple, little floater, and then you go down, because that's the good line right there. 2 wall jumps on an outdoor fail. Yeah, well, as much as this is an outdoor track, it's meant to be more of like a local series track, so I don't feel like wall jumps are too bad, especially because the wall jump in the section that I went through first there is meant to be a split section, so it's supposed to hurt you going inside in some way, shape, or form instead of just a nice roller. Wanted it to actually kind of matter if you went inside or outside. So I got the wall jump here. Oh, almost went over the bars. And then some sand. Right turn under the bridge. Couple rollers up the hill. And then this quad. Downside the quad and then just come ripping into the sand down here. Off camber, and then it swoops into a nice good camber. These will be sand rollers. Over finish. So that'll be the track, and we will go ahead and start decaling this bitch. You just never know what you're going to find at a local track. That's a good motto for this track right there. All sorts of crazy shit on a local track. Alright, personal folder. I don't know why I keep closing it, but I should keep it open at all times. Excuse me. Alright, let's find ourselves a good sand decal. Alright, regular track decal. I guess it needs to look kind of deserty. Well, we've got Coyote Bluff. So we got this base. This is more red than anything, I guess. Got like a dozer track there. We got ruts. Let's see what else we got. Tortilla flats could be an option. I got some pretty good decals. They look kind of the same, but they're a little bit lighter. So this would be the on-track dirt. Possible. Might just go with that. Has norms, so that would work out well. Does he have a sand in here? I don't think he does. Does this other track have a sand? This sand facility track? Decal files. The on-track dirt is just this. Could be sand, I guess. Although I don't want the sand to be just like a square. Let me see here. Bow. What has sand on it? Not hostile, savage, squid, the checkers in the outfield. I don't think the checkers in the outfield track have sand. Let me have a look at the Motorrad SX, maybe. Do they have a sand? Oh, they have a sand. It's a very, very, very light sand. And then it has these sand ruts. Not a fan. I wish I could use Jay's sand, but that bastard has his tracks all saft. TMFR compound doesn't have sand. What should I use? Oh wait, here's Oz SX. Duh. Textures. Sand. That's a shitty sand. What kind of sand is that? Shadows, tear-offs. What? Whatever. Freaking Jay. Piece of crap sand. Alright, well, I'll use it. Because I'm tired of looking around for sand. So let's go back to tutorial track, decal. Lay a sand in there. Next up, we're going to go back to Tortilla Flats. Grab that decal. I really like this on-track dirt. So copy paste that. Decal paste. And then we want the ruts from Tortilla Flats as well. Ruts norm. Wow, the ruts have a spec map? Really? Is that useful? I didn't know that you needed spec maps. I thought norms were just... Alright, I'll do it. Copy. And paste. So, next up, I want to open my decals folder. Or my edinfo notepad++ file. Shale Valley. Chris is yelling at me to go look at Shale Valley. Well, shit, Chris. I don't know if I still have Shale Valley, to be honest with you. Clapper Valley, Smith's Grove, Hide and Seek, YOLO 22. Darn MX track. Screw it. F Shale. Shale Valley Raceway track info. Do you remember what the folder name was? Was it Shale Valley? FAM-MX. Alright, we got a lot of crap in here that's FAM stuff. And none of them come up as folders. Let's see if I type in just FAM. Nope, none of them are folders. Or wait. Bail. Nope. Was it called sand? If I look up the sand. Like this guy? What is this? See? We got a sand on track there. Yeah. I'd love to take your advice, Chris, but I really don't want to go into the extra effort to download the track if I don't have it. So instead, I'm going to be a bitch and not download that. Wow, I pressed the wrong button. Tile info, decals. Yeah, this is where I was. All right. So we're going to copy one of these and go to the very front. I don't want that. And move that down the line. Paste. And we'll just move this over by a little bit. And then let's make this 60. One tutorial base. This is going to be called base norm on track.dirt. On track dot dirt dot png, and then save. And next up, we'll move that down another line as well. Paste. Move this over to like 50 by 50. And I want to move that down to, well, this is going to be the sand. So we'll have another 60. And this, instead of onTrack.dirt, will be called sand.png. And lastly, one more move down. We'll move this in a little bit more. So this will be 2030. I want the ruts to be, let's just say the ruts will be 40.
No whisper target found.
Whoop, that's the wrong button. And then we'll call them capital Dune, capital ruts. Underscore T norm underscore T spec. I wonder why it's called that. Interesting. We'll save that, close out of that, and leave that open. Opening back the game, opening tutorial track. I still don't know what I should be taking shots for. Alright, we should have decals strewn across the track somewhere. And they should be on top. Are they not? First of all, let's figure out where 25 by 30 is. Ah, here they are. They are strewn across the track. So we got this guy, which is something. We've got this guy, which appears to be the on track, I think. And this guy, which appears to be the ruts. So wow, this all kind of blends in a lot. Can I put this on top and see if that changes? Oh yeah, there we go. So now we're laying decals. This is the start straight, as I've emphasized before. Oh. Decals by far the longest, most annoying process in this game. Alright, so now that I've got turn one kind of situated there, give me a good idea where to go with the rest of it. So we'll go back to like right there. And connect that. So now we got an outline of the start straight. And then we'll go back. We can always go in and add like ruts into the start straight later as well. This is just basically a base decal. So that's definitely the sand, and then this guy is the ruts. So we got them all sitting over here. I want to go look at how the track looks in turn one over there. Can you show Mystical MX what I'm telling him about how to draw the straight line with gradient raise and lower tool by tapping L? Okay, yeah, let me do that real quick before I get over there. All right, so let's say you want to, you have like a gradient, like let me just make a new gradient off to the side over here, down here. And I'll come down here and I'll just show it off real quick. So you got like this long gradient. Let's just say it's like that long. You go to edit gradient and you give it all this crazy undulation or whatever. And you want to draw it in a perfectly straight line with linear add. Instead of going like, oh, it's all over the place because you fucked it all up. You can literally hit L and see it's showed up on my screen that I've hit L, and you move this across, and if you hit nothing else, it just moves it in whatever direction from the spot that you hit L, and then you click, and then boom, you've drawn this in a straight line. I don't know if that's what you want. I guess it also works with raise lower tool. Did not know that. So if you hit raise L, yeah, and then pause, yeah, so you draw a straight raise tool line, and then backspace if you want to get rid of that. Hopefully that helps. Like I said, I was just kind of doing that on the fly real quick. So let's go over and take a look at the on-track decals. And my graphics are nowhere close to turned all the way up, so this actually won't look that pretty. Alright, so definitely looks kind of sandy, that's for sure. So when I turn my graphics all the way up, this will look a lot better. But basically, you're going to come down off this guy, come zinging into turn 1. It's a pretty tight turn 1 actually, and then come down into turn 2, and we'll just keep working on the decals from here at this point. What place did I get in the elim? I believe I was knocked out in the top 12, so I came across the line in 12th, so yeah, I'll probably get 12th. 12th in the elim. Alright, back to on-track decals. And you'll notice I'm not drawing it perfectly aligned necessarily with the borders of the track that I had before, and that's just because those were like a rough estimate of where I thought the track would go. Now I want to actually hone in exactly where the track's going to go, and this is, in my opinion, a good width to do that with. So I don't want to get too out of shape here anymore. And I'll have bales that kind of navigate you in the right direction on the track. Again, like I said earlier, I just hit X right there to delete an old file. You just have to make sure you're right on top of where you were. Hit X, and it'll delete it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mystical MXSS. SX. We can't really describe it any more clearly than we have. Maybe you have an old snapshot that doesn't have the L feature. Yeah, I mean, if you have an old snapshot, maybe I'd recommend checking out our snapshot tutorial, which would help you in that aspect to figure out how to add your new snapshot. New snapshots can be found on general discussion on the MX Simulator forums. Alright, continuing to add in decals around the track. How much longer am I going for? I've only gone 34 minutes, so pretty much an hour from here. Hopefully we can get the track nice and completely decaled tonight, and then I mean, hell, if I even have time, I could move into working on rough and braking bumps and all that good stuff. Need to go back over here, add a little bit more texture to the inside there. And then come back over here. Just a decal in this track away. You can lay decals in more of a straight line by turning your spacing down, and then if I back out of this, I can literally just like draw them in a straight line. And I would do that, but I also just kind of want to take it slow and make sure I have all the decals in the spot that I want them in as well. So you're just gonna have to deal with it being this slow. You have to have a registration key though, don't you? For what? Registration key for what? To download a new snapshot? Yeah, obviously. You can't. Oh, Mystical's on the demo. Yeah, I will release this track. Sorry, I'm trying to follow along with questions. I know I'm a little bit behind now, but this track will absolutely 100% be released when we finished with it. Made good progress so far. If I can finish decaling it and really get into the rough tonight, and then finish up the rough next week, and really all I have to do is lay gates, timing gates, and the starting gate, statues, billboards, and then it's pretty much done. So we're actually moving along pretty well so far. Oop, it's a little disoriented. So this is again another wide corner that I'll have to go back and fix. Oh, he bought the game over a year ago? Yeah, I mean, if you haven't updated your snapshot in over a year, then you probably don't have that L feature for editor. Like I said, go to our channel, start your systems on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe already, or subscribe. And there is a tutorial that we've made called the snapshot tutorial. Should be pretty easy to find. If you just go to our MX Simulator tutorials section. Alright, we've almost made it to the sand. And so for the sand, I will end up going just a wee bit into it, like so, and then a wee bit into it on this side. Moving right along. Should really read above. Did you know you can put your mouse where you want your decal to end up, end of straight, and just hit D? What do you mean by that? Hit D. I don't understand what you mean, Chris. What's different than that? Instead of clicking each time, you mean? Oh,
I can't explain it.
I see. Okay, I see now. Never.
Damn,
Well,
you can go to the end of the straight, and then based on where you have your spacing number set up,
and then you
little
just
space. You don't have to just drag the mouse though. You can literally go to the end of the straightaway.
and just hit D multiple times.
Yeah, and just keep tapping D, and it'll draw your decal straight down the straightaway to where you have your mouse.
Well, thank you for that pro tip. I did not know that.
Before I'll leave you alone now. Decaling. I was just trying to save you some time.
I appreciate that. I'm almost done decaling too.
Yeah, it doesn't really work in corners, but it works great for straights.
Yeah, I can see
Especially
that.
long ones.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Buddy left your channel.
And we'll come back to the start. DDD. Boom. Laid that in straight. Now the track is pretty... Alright, stream's back. My bad. Stream crashed. Son of a bitch. I hate when my stream crashes because then that means that instead of exporting one video entirely from Twitch, I have to go back to edit them into one video clip so that I can upload it into a singular video clip on our YouTube channel. And then I just want to kind of shoot myself in the face because I have to render that shit all night long. Alright. So everything is decaled on the main portion of the track except the sand now. And the sand I will now move into decaling. So we want this decal to be selected. And then, boom, lay in the sand. And we'll start down here where we already had. So we'll just kind of draw this in around the corner. Oh. And then we have this come pretty close to the finish line. Not right at it yet, but pretty close. I'll come back down here and start this guy next to where we were. Ads, your favorite. You guys haven't missed much. We're just in the middle of making sand corners. So exhilarating. Really, decals are like kind of the most boring thing in this game. In terms of track making, at least, it's the most boring thing for me. Some people take pride out of it, but I'm just kind of like, get me the fuck out of here. Alright, so that corner is decaled. And now we will decal the sand. And now the sand over there is decaled. And we have a base decal for our track. So then we'll just go in and add ruts. But I can just take you guys one more time around the track now with it decaled. I really want to make my graphics all the way up. But yeah, this is basically it. Obviously this will look a lot different with hay bales. And then I'm going to put a rut overlay on it in just a second. It'll look a lot different with hay bales and different statues on it, so it doesn't look so bland. But at least right now we have a base decal set up. Wall jump. Ah, I love a freshly decaled track. Isn't it so wondrous? Yeah, this track is a highway right now, but it'll not be as much of a highway once we get the rough dialed in. So we jump over this guy. Nice little U-turn into a wall jump. And then through the sand. Come back up the hill. Now you can kind of see those bumps a little bit better. Little quad. Then come zinging down into the sand down here, which again, off camber into rollers. Man, that sand really slows you down. And then the finish line table, back out onto the start line. Really short start line, actually. Everyone loves Moto A Go-Go. Yeah, we do. Moto A Go-Go rocks my socks. Those socks that I'm not even wearing because I'm wearing slippers because it's cold as dicks in my house right now. Alright, decals still. Yeah, we still want to work on them decals. And we want to put this guy on the old topperoo. So I'll use the checkers method here. D. Lay another one down. And then the checkers method. D. Lay another one down. Checkers method. Is that what we're just going to call it for the rest of the night, the checkers method? It should go below my base track decal? Well, I can do that all in the, fucking, what's it called? In the Notepad++ file later. But right now I just kind of want to lay it down. The stream isn't up for you guys? Are you, I'm sorry. Should you maybe tell them to refresh? I don't know why the stream would not be up for you guys particularly, other than if you haven't already refreshed. Thank you, people in chat, for letting them know. Please refresh. And finally, far side. So let's look at the start straight now. There's rats on the start straight. Again, looks like absolute shiitake mushrooms with my graphics turned down. But I can promise you, once I turn my graphics up, will look decent. Decent. More D than a transvestite convention. Checkers always coming up with the clever puns in chat. That one, pretty intense. So as Checkers had told me, this decal should go under the top decal. And as I responded to him, that's something I can just do in the Notepad++ file. I can just fix that later. So now we're drawing in corners with the ruts. I'm back, says somebody in chat. Corners, by far the most annoying part of editing a track. And now they're really by far the most annoying because I'm just pressing D to do straight lines. Neck minute, D. Not really working for the corners. All right. So there we go. Turn one. Looking pretty good, pretty good. Very nice, very nice. How much? So we'll come back down to this guy over here. Lay a nice little straightaway decal. And then ready? Another decal here. And another decal there. And boom. Take it to the doctors. I'm assuming that's a because it's so sick reference, or are you telling me that I'm just such a shit streamer that I should go to the hospital? You sound like the mothership in Galaga. I don't know what that is, Monogogo. I don't know what it is. All right. And I know too many rots. There we go. Okay, that sounds super sexual. No, too many ruts. Oh, not enough ruts. All right, let us again go crazy with Zinedine Zidane. So we're gonna draw, boom. Let's move it over a little bit, straighten it out, and then come down here. And all right, ready? 1, 2. Very good, very good. Well done. And another rut, little gradient, little tile thingy bobber there. Hello, Supercross Pig. Welcome to the stream. I still haven't taken more shots. I need to. All right, ready? And that straightaway is now decaled. Look at, we're moving right along with the track. You know, Kellen, there is a point where there is too much D. Yes. Then it just becomes sausage fest. Sausage fest is no fun. Too much sausage. Well, actually, I would like to say sausage fests are fun because Oktoberfest is one of my favorite holidays. And that's basically just a beer and sausage fest. I love my bratwurst with sauerkraut. In fact, I just bought a German flag that I now hang on my wall at home at the last Oktoberfest that I went to. Fun fact of the day. Yes, Oktoberfest. Beyond breasts. Das ist very good. Das ist sehr gut. Ein richtiges Gespräch. Kellen's got a lot more D to come, or sausage fest, however you want to put it. Lol. Oh, this turning corner. No, I can't do the D. So we're just going to have to draw it in. Sorry, guys. No D in the corner. Only D on the straights. Alright. So we want this to come down into this little guy out here. ...2006 Arena Cross Championship in Sim. Just saw it on the forums. Oh no! There's a lot of cool stuff coming up in Sim. I'm getting all excited about my return to racing and in the pro class. There's a lot of cool amateur events coming up, which I'm always excited to see. I love new players and amateurs getting involved. Have you ever been to the University of San Diego? Is that a real question, Supercross Pig? Because I go to school there, bro. Just had class there today. Gonna have class there again on Friday. You excited to come back to racing? Well, it's my first year of AM racing. Hey, everybody starts somewhere, Moto. Even I was once a lowly peasant to the greats of riders like Shack Attack 12 and MX Tyson 21. Or, sorry, he was MX Tyson 11 back then. I'm going to start racing pro for the East Supercross. Well done, Mr. Kevin Ferzaka. We look forward to seeing you out there. Now we can go back to the D. And D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. Jesus Mullins? What about Jesus Mullins? Like Charlie Mullins, the GNC racer, or GNCC racer, sorry? Really? Are you Catholic? I don't actually identify as Catholic. I would more say I identify as Christian. I don't want to get in a religion debate on here. But it is not just a Catholic school anymore. It used to be an all-girls Catholic school. But there are several people at that school that I know that are Buddhist and Islamic and other religions. Still a private school, though. I was talking about Jesse Mullins. Yes, Jesse Mullins, the 2015 Race Factor Gaming Outdoor National Champion. Really cool guy. Hang out with him, not as much anymore, but every now and then. All right, let us keep drawing in this S corner here. All right, I've got a pretty firm indication that not too many people will be rolling that double. So I'm just going to continue on with the landing, which is something I could do for quite a bit of the track, but don't want to get too carried away with that. Several family members who went there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoy going to the University of San Diego. Senior year, graduating in May. All right, let us get the D on. Get that D on the street. All right, D D D D D D D D. So many D's. All right, there we go. And lay this guy down right here. Come down here. And what are my plans after college? Well, still up in the air, to be honest. Hopefully I can stay working in the industry. Those of you who know me, I work at Verb Media Group, verbmoto.com, as a staff writer and on-site race reporter. It'd be nice if I could keep that job. I've been told by my boss that it's a strong possibility, but not against looking at other options as well. I have an uncle that works for the Los Angeles Angels, pretty big baseball fan, so wouldn't mind delving into that if that's a possibility. When you were younger, you went to golf camp at the University of San Diego. That's interesting. When I was 11, I went to swim camp there with my best friend in junior high. This one time at swim camp? Oh, I'm hitting save. I just took like 8,000 screenshots. That's pretty funny. Is this coming or what? What just happened? Did I just crash sim? Nothing is working. Oh, it did work, and then I just, okay. That's interesting. Jesse Mullins told you to go kill yourself. Wow. Jesse, that's not very nice, mate. You're going to have to rescind that statement, I believe. All right, Moto Go has been confirmed as being live. So if you guys are hanging out here and you're bored of my annoying voice and my track making talents, which are awful, you're always welcome to head over to Moto Go, twitch.tv/Moto Go. I always like shouting him out because he's a legit actual streamer. He'll provide some really good quality content over there. All right. We're pretty well into decal in this track up here. It definitely looks like the highway that it is right now. But it's coming together. You know what? I'm tired of waiting around to take another shot, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot. Most frustrating moment in sim. Well, I could probably talk about this since it's long gone, but there was a time back in 2013 where Sween and Wheels, who were both president and vice president of Race Factor Gaming at the time, um, they had to take some time away from sim for personal reasons and so on, and they left me in charge of running the Race Factory Gaming Outdoor National Championship. And I had no prior race running experience to that, but they just kind of gave me a quick run through of how to do it. I did a test run at one of the races, and then actually started, uh, you know, doing it at another one of the races. And so I did the last 6 rounds. I think I hosted the last 6 rounds of the Race Factory National Championship. And for the most part, it was going pretty well up until about like 3 or 4 rounds to go, I think. I think Millville was round, let me think, Millville was round 8 or 9 that year. And there was an instance where Devin Davis, and I'm not like blaming this on Devin, like it was a situation that I decided on, so it's not Devin's fault that this happened, but his computer crashed in one of the motos for the 450 class. And Zach Dupuis was leading the championship at the time, and Tyler Crane was in second in points, and Devin's game crashed, and so I decided I was going to restart the race. And Zach had gotten a good start in that moto, and so Zach got a good start in the moto before the restart, but I restarted the race for Devin because I felt like, well, that's shitty. If his computer crashed, like, let's let him back in. So we're waiting around, and he came back, and we got him in the race, and everything was fine. But then on the restart, Tyler Crane, who had gotten a shit start in the first moto, got a great start in the second moto, and Zach, who had gotten a pretty good start, I think he was in the top. I want to say he was at least in the top 5. And in the second moto, or in the restart of the moto, he got a shit start, and it kind of ended up screwing them over in the end because Tyler, gained up a lot of points in the championship, and Zach wasn't too happy about it, nor were a lot of people, and what ended up kind of being a shit deal was that Devin decided to dick around in the last half of the moto with a guy named Mitchell Culpepper, who I don't think races anymore. But because of this, it was my first situation where there was protests that I had to take care of. So I went through, I reviewed the demo, and decided to suspend them both for round 10, I think it was. I think round 10 was just coming up there. And so I suspended them both from round 10 because I was like, well, I don't want any of this. Because they're literally like taking out leaders and stuff by just screwing around with each other. So I got them out of there and everything was going fine. But I started getting a lot of heat for banning Culpepper because he had a lot of his butt buddies in like TeamSpeak and stuff trying to defend him and saying that it wasn't his fault, it was all Devin's fault, which happened a lot back then. Everybody just blamed Devin for everything, as they kind of still do now. And like I wasn't having any of it, so I was, always telling them like, "Shut up, I'll ban you." And so I ended up having to ban somebody because they were trash talking me, telling me to go kill myself, kind of, crap. I mean, this happens in sim a lot, but it was coming right to my doorstep. And then that just ignited a whole flame of people getting mad at me. And at that round 10, which was Unadilla, one of Culpepper's butt buddies, and who I'm fairly good with it now. Gunnar Fugler decided to cut the course like 8 times and like punt me while I was racing because I was in the 250 class, and that just ticked me off. So we perma-banned Gunnar for what at the time would be life from RF, but he was eventually reinstated. And then the last 2 rounds, Cole Heberlein. Everybody knows Luke Heberlein now usually because he's a pretty fast dude in sim, but Cole Heberlein for like the last 2 rounds was doing everything he can to fuck with me because he was another one of Culpepper's butt buddies basically, and so he purposely took me out like 8 times around 11, and then he punted me 4 or 5 times at round 12, and I was in the middle of the 250 championship at the time. I was like 4th or 5th in points. I was trying to get as many points as I could, so I eventually banned him, and all hell broke loose in the final round because I had started the final moto of the season, and going into the final moto, Zach Dupuis and Tyler Crane were separated by like 10 or 5 or something. It was a pretty close point margin. And I restarted the moto, and it was the last moto of the year, so I was like, I'm fucking tired of this, and I got up and left because I hadn't eaten dinner yet, so I went and got dinner. And when I came back, there were 3 laps in, and Devin Davis was in game chat flipping out at me because his computer had crashed again, and this time I didn't restart the race because I wasn't there. And so for a long time, I was blamed by the team that Tyler Crane was on, 6D. I think that was when 6D existed, for giving Zach Dupuis the championship. Because Zach and I are pretty good friends in real life, so I got a lot of flack for that. And yeah, it was a long process. If you go back and look at the 2013 national thread, the last 15 pages are just absolute shit fest. Like it was so bad, and I mean, it just sucked. Like, there were so many people that ended up getting permabanned from that. I told Sween and Wheels and those guys, I was like, I'm never fucking running an event again. Like, that was like the worst experience of my life, having to deal with so many stupid kids in this game. And not saying that everybody's like that, but the people that I did have to deal with, I was just like, I was so over the game. I wanted to quit the game after that. But that was probably my worst experience in sim right there, was having to deal with that crap that year, running the series, and so many people hating on me, and it ended up kind of destroying a couple good friendships I thought I had. I felt I was pretty close with a guy named Jack Roberts, who pretty much no longer talks to me, and I don't think it's necessarily just because of that, but we were kind of close and hung out quite a bit, and he just stopped talking to me after that. And there's just a lot of shit that went on, and I would say that it wasn't just their fault. I had a lot of problems with it as well, but it was a shitty situation altogether, and probably my least favorite moment in sim, if I could pick one. So we're almost done with decaling pretty much the entire track. All right, I'm going to take another shot because I said I would. Oh my goodness. The hell proof is this? So strong. 35%, 70 proof. Could I take a lap of the track? Yeah, let me finish up decaling this real quick. We're a little over an hour, just over an hour into this stream. So we got probably just under 30 minutes left before I'll wrap it up for the night. And definitely want to get done with the decals if I can. So I want to just finish decaling this, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys a lap around the track. Alright, there's that. Come back down to this guy. Alright, cool. Mystic MXSX, good to know that with that updated snapshot, you're able to use that L gradient thing that we were talking about earlier. I hate when people aren't able to use things when we're trying to help you out, and it just seems like nothing works, because I feel so helpless, like I don't really know what else I could do. So, glad that you got that worked out. Alright. Almost done. Almost done. Oh my goodness. We finished decaling. Yay. Track is le decaled. And before I go any further, I'm going to not be an idiot, and I'm going to save the track. Track saved. Decaled. Alright, so we're already in turn 1, so I can just kind of, excuse me, show the track from here. Turn 2, oh, I need to extend those decals a little bit more, maybe. That outside red doesn't look like it has many decals on it. Alright, let me finish the lap of this track, and then I'll get to the questions that are coming up in chat, because I just looked at one, and there's a couple I want to answer. Always love having you guys here for the live thing, because then I feel like I have a lot of stuff to talk about. Alright, stream crashed again. My bad. I am going to go back a couple segments. Hold on, let me tell everybody in chat to refresh. Alright, let me get back in here and I'll show you guys. I don't know how far back it crashed. I just looked over and saw that it was reconnecting. Fucking hate the stream crashing. It's so annoying. So we got this double, rollers, and then like this triple tabletop dealio. Whoa, slide out. Oh, I thought I was going to save it. Maybe that's what I should do. I should take a shot for every time the streams crash. So that's probably like the 6th time tonight that it's done it, but like the 3rd time for you guys that it has. Because it did it earlier in the elimination race a couple times, but I'm not going to take a shot for those because those don't count. I wasn't taking shots back then. Oh, OJ that. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, this track's gonna look a whole hell of a lot different with statues and everything involved there. Comes zinging down right into the sand section. And boom, over the finish line. Decal track done. Fucking love it. Alright. So the track is now decaled the way I like it. Oh, look at that beautiful image. Don't you just want to stop and stare at it? What am I taking shots of? Let me see here. It's called Pinnacle Cookie Dough Imitation Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough Flavored Vodka from France. Awesome. Great to hear, Mystical MXSX, that you got your game working the way that you want. Sorry for that lonely bale. Yeah, we're going to start adding more bales. In fact, I could probably get to that in a little bit, but I kind of want to start working on the rough just a little bit here. So let's go ahead and save again. And rough-wise, I guess I could start with sand rollers. Sand rollers. Make them a little bit closer together on the inside. Gradient edit. Go down. Make them about 2-ish feet tall. Alright, I said I'd get to a couple questions in chat, so let me do that while I'm working on this. Just give me a second to round this out. Shit! Keep fucking that up. Alright. Linear add. Get this out to 66. Place it right here, coming into the corner. Let's do 2.25 at 75. Alright. Alright, so we got a couple questions here. Let me look up. Have I been to the Immaculata at the University of San Diego? Yes, I have. I have not gone to Mass there yet, though. Another question was, what's the deal with Leclerc? People always hating on him, and I'm not sure what he did. So Leclerc, interesting situation. I'm probably not the person that you want to hear it from, because I'm biased in the fact that I don't like Leclerc at all. I think a lot of the problem that people have with Leclerc, particularly the people that casually play this game, are that he is the 100% ultimate tryhard. He would, I mean, he's the stock track hero. He made videos of himself becoming the fastest rider on stock tracks, like literally videos of himself, fucking what's it called? breaking world records on the stock tracks, which like is entirely too try hard for this game, in my opinion. But you know, it's whatever. And so he did that, and it pissed a couple people off because they're like, "Wow, this guy's a little over the top." And then the thing that pissed me off about him was I was getting along with him just fine. I didn't have any problems with him. I just figured like, oh, it's another dude that, you know, tries too hard at the game. Like whatever, I'm not gonna, you know, dog him for trying to be the best at the game. And then a situation, or it started building. I guess would be. It's not really a situation, but it started building where he would just race me super hard, kind of like in my recent. World of MXS video where Ben McLeod took me out. Like that's what Leclerc would do to me. And like I don't know if he was just trying to be a dick and was doing it to me on purpose or like what his deal was, but like he would do that to me a lot. And it would kind of just started getting on my nerves. And then one specific circumstance that I can remember was the 2013 Supercross Open that I was racing and Byron and everybody was racing. And I had just moved into second place and I was in a pristine opportunity to take over the lead if I wanted to. And Leclerc had gone down, and that's what gave me the opportunity to take over the lead. And he got up in the middle of the track completely sideways and then proceeded to brake check me going into the next corner. So I said, fuck it, I'm done with this idiot. And I sent him over the berm. And I didn't really care. Like, I kind of slid out and went down and lost the lead because of it. But I was just so tired of Leclerc and his garbage. Like, he just rode like such garbage. And so I took him out. I was like, I'm over it. And then from then on, we had a rivalry in the Australian Supercross Championship that we were in together. He took me out a couple times. I took him out a couple times. And it just kind of built into this little rivalry that we had. And he always blames it on me. I don't always blame it on him. I know that in some situations, like, it's my fault. Like, I'm the one that's the instigator, if that's what you want to call it. But he never takes fault for his actions. He always just says it's somebody else's fault, and that just kind of got off on the wrong string with me. But I don't know. Like I said, like Leclerc, as a racer, hate him. As a person, never had a problem with him really. When I ask for him to do something for me, like media-wise, like if we need to do a video or a video segment, or you know, we're gonna do like. I don't want that hard. I want it to be about one. So like it, you know, opening ceremonies and stuff like that for Sim. You know, whenever I ask him to come through for me, he always comes up with a good answer or something that he needs or something that I need. So I don't usually have a problem with him in that aspect, but racing him, fucking hate it. It's the same thing with Ben McLeod. I hate racing with that guy. He's so dirty, but as a person, honestly, a pretty nice guy. Like, I don't have a problem with him as a person. So that's my 2 cents on Leclerc and dirty racers, I guess. Has anyone ever, like, cheated in some way? Let me think. I wouldn't necessarily say, like, that they cheated, per se, but at one point the Brazilians were going through every single track every week and finding cheater lines for qualifying. And they would just do that. And by Brazilians, I mean Juan Pablo, Hector Suncao, Eduardo Simos got in on that. There's a couple other Brazilian kids. They were just all on the same team, I guess, and they would just find cheater lines to like cut the track, basically. And so yeah, that's probably the closest I would think to it got to fucking, what am I trying to say? Someone cheating. I don't think you can actually like cheat in this game. There's the Leclerc cheat starting technique, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, where he compresses the rear suspension, which is basically like, it's like a whole shot device. I don't know if you can call it a cheat, but he was the only one, or not the only one, but one of the only people that actually was able to like kind of perfect it and do it all the time. So that kind of sucked because it was just impossible for half of us to do because we didn't have the same setup as him. But yeah, I mean, all he would do is sit on the line and pre-compress the suspension. And at one point, it got so bad that JLV had to recode the game so that you couldn't change your setup while moving. That's why you now have the like settings didn't save because rider was still moving or something. I think that's what it's called. because we actually sent JLV a demo of Leclerc like boner airing the dicks off of a triple at Oakland in 2014, and we realized that he had preset when you save a setup in game and you go to hit, I think it's called read setup, and that'll read another setup. Um, if you have / read setup and then whatever setup you want already in chat, all you have to do is hit T and then enter. It'll read that setup while you're moving, or that's what it used to be at least. And so Leclerc on this particular instance hit the triple, and he had like a start setup which allowed him to compress the rear suspension, and then a race setup that like worked for him. So he hit the triple, which was 2 corners into the Oakland main event, and boner aired, and his rider was leaned all the way back, and the only way that your rider sticks in position without you touching the controller is if you are paused or in a menu. And so you could see it clearly that it happened, and like you could clearly tell that Leclerc had on the triple after hole shotting the race, hit T and then hit enter, and it changed the setup midair. And so that's what changed the JLV rule, so that you have to be stopped for like a 2-second period, I think, in order to be able to change your setup. Alright, so I have now made a sweeping sand corner. What should I do next, rough-wise? Yeah, no problem, guys. Don't mind answering questions at all. I know you guys always have questions that you want answered, so I don't mind answering them. I wouldn't call it cheating, what Leclerc did. I mean, he was just smart enough to figure out how to do it. The one thing that I hated about it with Leclerc, though, was because his rear suspension was so soft, and he had figured out some stupid bullshit setup that worked to make it through whoops just barely and then be super fast everywhere else. He was the only person that could compress his rear suspension that way, and it sucked because he would always hole shot. That's why Leclerc is known as like the hole shot guy, and eventually the championship guy, because he won the 2014 outdoor championship. But like he just hole shot everything because of that, and it was just, I don't know, it was kind of annoying. All right, let's start putting in braking bumps. So we got an inside rut. You should put tractor decals on the side of jumps like they're just formed. Okay, yeah, I could do that in the future. I want to get into braking bumps before I get any further along, though. Why did I choose number 52? Good question. So, it's actually a very stupid answer. It's also a very stupid answer how I got my username in the first place. Oh, sorry. But 52, I was going to go with a different number, which related to my street address, but instead of doing that, I was like, well, I don't want people to know my street address, so I'm not going to do that. And so instead, I decided to go with, since I'm from the days of texting where you would have to press, what was it? You'd have to press 5, I think twice to get to K, and then you'd have to press 2 twice to get to B. And so on a regular SMS texting phone, if you pressed 5-2, it was the initials KB on a text message. So that's where 52 comes from. Also, I live right next to the 52 not interstate, but 52 freeway in California. So I mean, I guess that's kind of part of it. But like literally, the whole text message thing is why 52 came about in the first place. Really kind of a dumb answer, but you know, whatever. I used to rep the crap out of 101 because Ben Townley is my favorite rider of all time. But I figured it would be cool to just kind of have my like my own number, I guess, instead of using BT101's number. Freaking Townley, favorite number 101 though. He's gonna run the 8 in MXGP this year. I'm like, come on, guy. You got to rep the 101 somehow. All right. Drawing in some braking bumps there. Let's see how that works. So we got these braking bumps coming down to the inside here. Yeah, those are nice. I don't even need to smooth them. They're already pretty good. Why does my bike have a Vodafone thing on it in real life? So the Vodafone thing is basically because we found a graphic online that came with plastics for like $80. It was graphics already on the plastics for like $80 on eBay, and those are the graphics that were on it. I mean, I didn't pick to have Vodafone, although I do think Vodafone's cool. Cool company that does international telephone services. Also was the main sponsor for Vodafone, McLaren, Mercedes, which my favorite driver, Lewis Hamilton, used to drive for. No longer does, though. Got to be really subtle with braking bumps in this game. You can't make them too big. So I got a couple different sets of braking bumps coming into this corner now. Because it's the second corner, I don't want to get too crazy with braking bumps, so just kind of some average ones going towards the outside and a little bit kind of closer together ones if you want to take the inside, but obviously we'll make those a little bit more abrupt as we get further into the track. All right, Lewis Hamilton fans in chat. I like this braking bumps here. Let's see if looks different. No, that's exactly how it looks. I like that. Those braking bumps came out very good. Literally all I did was make a gradient and then linear add with the bumps. Not too big. I don't want the bumps to be like overbearing. I don't want this track to be like you have to hope and pray that your bike handles it coming into corners. Put a freestyle ramp in the middle of the track where there's nothing? Yeah, I could probably do that. I could probably swing that free ride ramp. Probably even make this the landing. It could come from the other direction. Really happy with how this track's coming together, actually. It's not so bad. I thought that because I'm having to kind of talk my way through it the whole time that it actually kind of looked like shit, but it actually looks really good. All right, I'm going to continue going just a little bit longer. I know we're almost at an hour and a half, but I'm going to take one more shot for you guys and keep going. Again, if you guys are here, any kind of questions that you want to go ahead and ask, I'm here for your asking and answering service. I'm almost done with this bottle. I guess I could finish it with another shot after this. What's it going to be called, the track? That is a good question. That's why I didn't name it yet. But going to be called something. Not sure what yet. Okay. All right. Let's make some braking bumps down here, shall we? So we got to make bumps that get us to the inside rut, which are a little bit higher, or make it kind of flat to get to the outside rut. You should name it DDDDD. Nah. I'll probably name it something just kind of simple, like SYS Raceway or something like that. Oh, I'm still online. Shit. I don't want it to be online. Online. Oh, Google. Oh, that's a little farther than I want it to be. Let's move that back. If you feel like you're in a rut speed-wise and can't get faster, do you get faster? Just practice and time. I will be honest with you guys. I feel the fastest I've ever felt in this game right now, and I mean that's saying something because there's been plenty of times that like I've been the fastest guy in qualifying and stuff like that, and I could easily say that those are my fastest times, but I feel like every day I get better and better at this game that I play it. I learn something different. I get used to something else. So it's just kind of a process, in my opinion. I think for sure the more and more that you play it, the better and better off you get used to it. Braking bumps coming to the inside. Want to get those spread out a little bit more so that you can't just kind of cut and come into that inside line. Is this build for reflex or sim? It is for sim. I think it even says I'm playing MX Simulator at the top of your screen right now. Those are some hefty braking bumps. They're like little doubles going the other way. Let me see how it feels coming into it. KB52MX Park. Well, I already have Kellen Brower's house in this game. I don't want to keep using my name for a track. So we have this table. And then come down. That actually doesn't feel too bad. I'm going to smooth them though just a little bit. Let's take the smooth tool, lower that down to 0.5. Just get a little smooth over them. Get that last bump knocked down too. I don't want it to be a big kicker coming into the corner. Keeps loading. What? Don't have to be a dick about it. What are you guys talking about? ILL show. Oh, you're saying don't be a dick about it? I didn't mean to be a dick. I was just letting you know that at the top it said MX Simulator. Just in case you didn't know that that was a Twitch feature. Sorry, bro. I don't mean to call you out. I didn't mean it. Alright, edit. Make these curves again. Very little subtle roughness on the outside. I want it to be there, but I don't want it to be like overbearing. I want you to still be able to get into that rut on the outside. Alright. Yeah, I really, I don't like to make people feel bad here. I don't want you guys to come join our stream and then feel like we're calling you out on anything or something like that. So, again, sorry if I make you guys feel bad at any point in time. It is not intentional. Yeah, I like the amount of rough coming in there. Let's just smooth that last little bump out. And then let's take it up to 7.5. Open this up and then smooth all of this out just a little bit more. Right on the center. And we got some more rough coming into the corner down here. When you make ruts, it's all jagged and stuff. Yeah, I probably should have showed that at the beginning. I actually didn't make this track at a 2048 map level. But if you make your... Fuck, I should really go into this the next episode. I'll get Checkers here to actually explain it better because I really won't do a good job of explaining it. But if you make your map in Terrain HF a 2049 by 2049 texture and leave the map size at 1025 by 1025 because it's a power of 2 plus 1 for a map size. So if you just leave it at that and then make your Terrain HF an extended size, like I don't want to be completely wrong with this, so I'm not gonna kind of completely fuck you up with it, but the bigger that you make your terrain, the less pixel information there is on the actual terrain file because it's a black and white map. In fact, I will go and show you this right now, kind of what I'm talking about. So let me hit save. This will be the end of us working on the track tonight. So far we've decaled the track. We got rollers in the sand, rough here, and then a little bit of rough coming into the corner after the table. Obviously we got the sand section, but the track is decaled, so we're just moving right along here. And I'll back out and show you guys what I was talking about. So if you look at the terrain.png here, I'll load it up. It's basically a black and white image. That's why Photoshop people can like draw these little kind of jumps in. Like here, I'll show you guys a checkers track. Let's see. Checkers track would be like the Red Bull straight rhythm race. Go to terrain. And so this is just a straight line, and all these are little things that he like actually made in Photoshop. This is a grayscale image. You have to put these black and white dots up there, and then you just draw these in, and it creates a terrain file for the track. So if we go back to mine, you can see that it's got that big hill in the middle as a more of a white thing because white is up, black is down. The more black it is, the more further down it is. Pure black is at the absolute bottom, pure white absolute top. So you see over under bridge, all this different stuff. That's what a terrain map looks like, and that's why people can do this in Photoshop as well. But basically in your terrain HF, like I said, I don't know how to do this exactly because I didn't actually do it for this track. But in here somewhere you have to change it to something, and then fuck, I don't even know what you're supposed to do. That's why I shouldn't. I'll get checkers on next time to talk to that about you guys. But if you make the map pixelation bigger and keep the track map the same size or condense it, it makes it so those ruts are a lot smoother. The only recommendation I can make for you right now is when you're making ruts is make them bigger than you think they have to be, and then use the smooth tool to smooth it out. And that'll make the rut kind of like, you know, smoothen out a little bit more, and it'll get rid of that jaggedness that you kind of have, and then it'll form the rut more to the size that you wanted it. So you make it bigger, smooth it down, it'll come down to the size that you want it, and it'll smooth it out. That's the only recommendation I can make, because once you've made the track, you can't actually go back in and change your terrain HF to be bigger. It'll fuck it all up. Like there's a track that I was working on a while ago that I don't think I'm gonna finish at this point. Let's see. I'd like to have a race on this, but I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to finish it. It's pretty far down here. Let me see. King of Beach. And so it's basically I was gonna do this big beach race. It's got a pier and all this beach stuff, and I might end up finishing it, but it takes a shit ton of time, or not time, but your computer lags. Like even my computer lags because it's so big. And I made the mistake of not using that terrain, whatever it's called, to make the file bigger, because now the track it has jagged ruts, and I had to smooth it over a lot. Like I said, I might release this. I can show you guys the track map. So it would have started here and come down and had all this crazy stuff. And yeah, I'd like to have a race on it, but I just don't think it'll hold enough people. Maybe I'll have like a time trial series on it or something like that, because it definitely does look kind of fun, and it's fun to ride. But yeah, so I guess maybe I'll release this at some point. But we're just focusing on the track, the tutorial track right now. We're going to finish up that tutorial track. So episode 4 now in the books. We have completed the terrain for the most part, except for braking bumps, which we're starting to work on in these corners here. We laid the corner bumps here. Alright, I'll go ahead and ride the King of Beach track real quick just to end this video, just because you guys are all here and asking for it. Like I said, I wanted to do this as a race, but it does lag. Like I'm on low graphics right now, and I'll show you that it lags. So King of Beach. But I put a lot of work into this, hoping that I could turn it into a race, and I was gonna stream it for you guys. I'm gonna finish my vodka now, just straight out of the bottle. Oh, vodka's done. So I haven't fixed any of this yet, but here's an overlay of the track right now. So the pier is is actually like I use the raise and lower tool to create the pier. We got a city with buildings and the track, which I'll go show you guys what it looks like in just a second. But you can see it's already kind of glitching. My FPS up here is glitching in the top right. And so I'll go to where the start would have been, and I just kind of made the pier with other bridges and stuff like that. I can show you that you can actually ride on the pier, but this is all sand, so you're like riding along the beachfront here. You get up to a high speed, you come zinging down. This is like the Les Touquet race or whatever it is in France that they have, which is a beach race. So then you come flinging into the sand here. I haven't ridden this track in a while, so I'll be pretty bad. Got a lot of ruts, rollers. I'm already kind of lagging over here. U-turn, and then more ruts and rollers. It's a really tight section back over here. Left turn, more rollers. Like I said, it's all sand, so it's pretty chaotic. Up over this kind of step up thing, and then we come into an enduro section here. Got some logs, and then some wall jumps. That's just a decal or a statue that I put in the middle of the track by accident. Then we got a tire wall. It's meant to be like an endurance enduro race. I was gonna make it an hour-long race, but obviously it's kind of laggy, so it wouldn't work out. Yep. Up. It's a freaking long track though. Here's some more ruts. Like I said, they're pretty jagged. All this stuff is pretty jagged because I made the mistake of not making it a 24/9 map instead of a 10/25 map. We got some like moguls basically to work through here that have some water in them. And a water jump, more moguls. You can kind of just jump through them if you want. So I spent a lot of the summer working on this project, but just never got it completely finished to kind of show off in any shape or form. And like I said, it does lag a lot, so it would totally be a tutorial championship of some kind, I think. I'm not even halfway done with the track. That's how long the freaking track is. Alright, so we're coming along the sand banking here. We've got a little table. And then this section's really tricky. We got a braking bump section into a wall. Come down this way. I think my girlfriend just got home, so I need to wrap this up here pretty quick. And then we come out of this corner and go down. And got a little rhythm section here, sand rhythm section. Right turn into some sand rollers again. Get on the gas and a little sand jump. Another right turn, U-turn. Inside, outside options. More inside, outside options. Hell, you could jump across this if you wanted to. Jump this guy. Get to the inside. More rollers heading back towards the city. So yeah, this is a lot of work that I put into this track. Shit. Oh no, I went down. Thank you, Asian's Crumbs Master, for telling me that you love the stream. Alright, just tiptoeing around. Now we're going to go under the pier. This is one of the only 2 times that you go under the pier. It's a pretty tight section in here. More rollers. Going off the track because I'm a nub. The black lining on the edge of the track is like literally I drew a track map and then overlaid it and then built the track inside of that track map. So it's like that is just, I left it there as a reference point. I could probably get rid of it now, but it's still just there. I don't have my graphics at full or else this would be a lot easier to kind of see, but the black line's kind of skiveled. This is probably my favorite part of the track right here. Is you come off of the sand onto pavement. It's even different traction, so you come up the pavement, I got these decals markered. Then you come down off the pavement and you jump over this little bridge here. Jump down back into the sand. Some braking bumps, a right turn. But like I don't even have my graphics up all the way, and this is still lagging. This is getting back onto the beachfront here. So we're done with working on the tutorial track tonight. I'm just showing off a track that I haven't finished yet for these guys. Come flinging into the other end of the track. You can see on the track map on the top right where we are, by the way, too. Got some more rollers. Coming back up into this section. Yes. Yeah, she is. No. Yes, you can. Your keys are in that drawer, right? Yeah. All right. 10-4. I got you. Sorry, folks. Just talking to my old man. We have a flat tire on my mother's car. So, all right. So I'm almost done with this lap. We got this 4-section wall jump. I think I calculated that you can actually double these, but I'm just gonna single them. So then you work your way back under that bridge that we jumped down off of the street section. Right turn, and then we have a little switchback back under the pier. And that's a lap here. So 6 minutes it took me to do a lap. Kind of a long lap. I'll show you guys really fast, and then I'm going to wrap up this stream just because I don't want to keep going longer. The track should be released next week with how little left there is to do. Well, like I said, I would love to release this track, but I want to do a race on it, and I don't want to release the track until I have like a race organized, because I don't want people to have hella time on it before I like run a race on it. But it sucks because it lags, and like I have to do so much to it. Like I even made it up top there. It says SYS Pier. You can kind of see that. It's got our old SYS logo on it even. And because these bridges are here, they're all kind of fucked up now, but you can ride across them and go over the track and take the pier all the way out. Oh, shit. Well, I'm really glad that we could help Seth62 with, I'm assuming you're working on a track yourself. So this pier is all just more terrain, and go out to the end of it. I was going to put like some fencing around it out here. You're basically over the water, which is not a sequence file because I didn't want it to take up more time, but if you jump down off the pier, you just go underwater. Kind of useless, but... Track release next week with how little... Oh, the tutorial track? Yeah, I mean, the tutorial track, we're getting pretty close to finishing. We obviously still have to finish the rough, and then I have to add all the timing gates in and make the starting gate. And then the statues and billboards take longer than you guys think. It really isn't just like a quick and easy process, so it'll take a while. But I was just showing you guys King of Beach. We'll go out here and just make some kind of sweet love with JLV. Hi, JLV. Hey, buddy. There you are. Oh, JLV. And so thanks again for watching the tutorial, track building tutorial. We're 4 episodes in now, and just real quick, I'll load up the other track for any of you guys that have just shown up here late. But thanks again for watching, guys. Tutorial track. This has been episode 4 of the track making tutorial. We are done decaling the track. We will work on more of the rough, finish the rough next week. But this is now the track as we stand. Start line and the decals are laid. And yeah, we're looking pretty good on the track so far. Added the sand sections in, and we're looking good. So yeah, the stream will be up next week, which will be the what's today, the 2nd, so the 9th. That is genuinely JLV that I was just humping in the middle of the ocean. Yes, JLV back in 2007 when he created this game took a picture of himself to make a flagger file. So all the flaggers that you see in this game that wave yellow flags, those are JLV. I don't know who the old man with the scruffy beard that waves a finish line flag is. I've never figured that out. But the flagger guy is definitely JLV. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up this stream because I'm starting to go way too long. But thank you guys for coming again tonight. It was great to have you all the questions that you asked and I answered. Was really good fun. We're going to finish up with the rough next week on the track and probably move into statues and billboards after we do timing gates. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish more corners to get rough and ready. So that should only take us about 30 minutes next week, hopefully. But you guys rock. Always hanging out here on SYS TV. Getting excited for Supercross coming up, but we still have about a month to go. This was track making episode, not editing, episode 4 on Start Your Systems. We're gonna catch you guys next week